Welcome in along with Mike Renner. I'm Steve Palazzolo. This is your top 5 Defensive Rookie of the Year candidates. Now that we know where all these guys are going, Mike, we can figure out the fits, the usage pattern, and try to predict what's going to happen with the Defensive Rookie of the Year. We're going to start with number 1, Nick Bosa, San Francisco 49ers. We know that they needed pass rush. He'll have plenty of opportunities to rack up some pressures and sacks.
That's it. He'll be on the field basically every down. We saw how quickly his brother translated to the NFL. I think you can see a very similar sort of easy transition for Nick Bosa. He's just that polished of a product. Goes to a place where he's going to be getting to rush the passer a lot, and now a revamped defensive line where I think he'll be putting a lot of pressure on opposing quarterbacks.
They've been really building from the interior. Finally have Bosa, you have D Ford off the edge. They'll all kind of feed off each other there in San Francisco. Number 2, Quintin Williams from the New York Jets, another guy. He's so polished. We felt so good about him in college. We expect, a quick transition for him in the NFL.
Yeah, I mean, he might not be going to ideal situation to put up huge numbers. He is a defensive tackle. It's rare to rack up sacks from that position, but I think this just speaks to how polished of a product he is coming out, how safe we feel in terms of him translating to the NFL immediately. I think he'll dominate, even if the stat sheet might not reflect it.
The number 3 player, Mike, I have to say, I might have put him at number 1 if I was writing this piece, but Tevin White from the Tampa Bay Bucks. If you look at just trying to predict what voters are going to look at for Defensive Rookie of the Year, linebackers racking up 100-plus tackles. Devin White seems like a shoo-in for that, even though that's maybe not the best indicator of actual performance.
Yeah, and Todd Bowles' defense, I imagine he's going to rack up 1, a ton of tackles, 2, a bunch of sacks
that's
as well.
True, yeah.
From that middle linebacker position, blitzing in that defense a ton. So he'll put up big numbers. He'll be right there in the conversation. And again, the athletic traits where I think he'll be an impact player as a rookie.
Awards aside, one of the more fascinating stories will be how that Bucks back 7 progresses here with all of the pieces that they added in Devin White. One of the most important pieces, number 5 overall. The 4th player as far as top 5 Defensive Rookie of the Year candidates, staying in the NFC South, Brian Burns from the Carolina Panthers. They've needed young edge rushers for a while, and I think Burns will have plenty of opportunities to prove his worth as the 16th overall pick.
Exactly. Another player with an easy path to see the field, so he'll be getting a ton of snaps. And then with his athleticism, he is going to convert those pressures to sacks at a lot higher rate, in my opinion, than a lot of other edge defenders might in this class because of just how quickly he can change directions, how quickly he can track down quarterbacks outside the pocket. So I think he'll rack up some nice sack totals here early on in his career.
And the number 5 player, love the scheme fit here, Byron Murphy, Arizona Cardinals. Love to play a little off coverage zone. He's got the zone eyes, the instincts. He can, be targeted enough to maybe pick up a few interceptions this year. That's why he's on this list.
Well, that's the thing. If they use Patrick Peterson the way he's been used in majority of his career to track opposing number 1 wide receivers, all of a sudden you're Byron Murphy. You have the easiest job in the NFL. Tracking number 2 wide receivers at that point, you just never have to face, those dominant number 1 type of guys. So he'll get a ton of targets because no one really likes to target Patrick Peterson. He'll get a ton of targets against number 2s. That's a nice job. We've seen some cornerbacks have career years in that role in Arizona.
Well, even if they don't flip and he doesn't track, you're still probably not going to be throwing Patrick Peterson, so expect a lot of opportunities for Byron Murphy. So there you have it. It's your top 5 Defensive Rookie of the Year candidates. For the next 5, be sure to get to ProFootballFocus.com for the full list.